Start to connect to the breath here. So that kind of opening moment of mindfulness, right? Where you close your eyes, you start to feel the sensations of the body. So you're enhancing that kind of neuromuscular connection or the conscious awareness of the body. Then you're starting to connect to the breath more than usual. You're feeling the breath, connecting, following the breath in, following the breath out. So you're becoming more present to start our practice. You're setting more intentions, right? Controlling your attention and you're concentrating. So starting with that mental foundation. Big inhale in your nose. Big exhale. Again, big inhale. Big exhale. So just for a moment, it's called isolated breathing, doing nothing but really focusing on the breath, trying to bring the breath into the abdomen, middle ribs, even back ribs, upper back, upper chest, underarms. So really trying to bring the breath into spaces it's normally lacking, right? So a lot more intention in the breath. So today, yogis, we'll start with our Ashtanga Sun Salutation A. Some days you move fast in it, some days you move slow. Pace yourself for your knees today. Let's take a big inhale, reach the arms up. On the exhale, forward fold. Notice I am not forcing any flexibility. Inhale, half lift. Hands are on the knees, on the shins. I lengthen my chest parallel to the floor. High plank, I step back. We're going to continue to move in the beginning. Bend the elbows, take it down to the chest. Inhale, Cobra. I'm showing my Cobra 1. I think everyone knows this pose. Or Cobra 2. I'm working on engaging the legs, turning the body on. Downward dog. Take an extra breath or three in your down dog, pressing the palms down, lifting the sit bones up and back. Just going a little bit slower this first round, yogis. You know, the yogis move a lot to get that energy flowing. All right, on your next inhale, we're going to bend our knees, lift our heels, kind of look between our hands, and then you're going to either skillfully walk or even hop feet between at the front of your mat, feet between the hands. Okay, and then you inhale, half lift, just like we did earlier, and then you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we stand up skillfully, reach up, even kind of look up. And then exhale back to that first posture, remembering it's a meditation, right? Yoga is combining meditative and exercise practices. Inhale, let's reach it up a little bit faster. Exhale, forward fold, reaching for the floor. Inhale, half lift. High plank to low plank. I'm pretty sure everyone in here knows this stuff. So, you don't need my guidance at this point. If you can go on your own, feel free. You're going to take your up dog or cobra after you lower down from your plank. Up dog is where your legs hover, remember? Your feet and hands are down. And then down dog. Take one nice breath in down dog. And on your inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Hop or step your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale as your half lift. Notice the breath is the first cue. It's guiding the movement. Exhale, forward fold over the legs. Inhale, stand up, please. Reach up. Exhale for a moment, Tadasana. They call it the sacred pause in yoga, where you mudra and energy expression. Inhale, reach up. Let's see you go like 3-5 more rounds on your own, please, at least. I'm going to give you just a few rounds here. And then the next flow, I'm going to give you a lot more time. All right. When we get a little bit more complex. So you're kind of going on your own. Some days I'll move really slow. Some days I'll move really fast. Some days I'll kind of pause in spaces that feels kind of sticky or tight. Some days I'll think strength here more. Some days I'll think stretching more. So what are you feeling, huh? How can you do this for your needs today? Many ways to do this. If you're feeling a little tired, you could add child pose or cat cow when you're in your down dog. If you're feeling really good, push-ups. Don't forget, even adding like handstand. If you're feeling really good, jumping up on the wall or something. Make this your own, yogis. I'm going to flow with you. Couple more rounds. Let's get going. Last 30, 40 seconds, yogis. Finish up that last round, please. If you're just coming in, we're doing a little extra movement today, yogis. I'm trying to just get out of your way and let you flow a little bit. Don't forget, you can add things like the knees, chest, chin, the pranam, and that's usually considered a little bit softer version here. So you drop down to your knees in plank, lower the chest down, if you remember that from previous classes. That's the Anahata posture where your hips are up and you slide forward to that cobra. You can always add a child pose from there. So you're going to finish up this last round, meet in that standing Tadasana. So first position. It's always good to get back to these fundamentals, yogis. They're kind of more grounding classes, where the other ones are kind of outside your comfort zone a lot. You have to think a lot, figure it out. This is just more getting into my practice, letting go a little bit, right? So they both have a good role in our wellness and evolution, okay? So you're up at the top of your mat, you're finding your sacred, remember mudra is the energy expression, they call it. The body can be a mudra, the hands are the common ones. We do the prayer, we do the jiva, the lotus, a lot of different hand positions to kind of signal different energies and intentions. All right, so you take a moment just to feel the energy, the sun salutation is moving in the body. And become more self-aware on that energetic level. Not just big body, physical body or breath, but even energetic body. So second flow, we'll go through rather slow, kind of pausing in space. And then I'm going to kind of let you flow through it. You're going to turn up your music and get moving, all right? Let's take a big inhale here, please. Big exhale. Chair pose, nice pause. Bend those knees, reach those arms up. So you're sitting low, you're reaching high, getting those legs turning on. Okay, big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. You have the optional chaturanga here. We're not going to do these all class. This is your heavy dose in the beginning of class, okay? You won't do many after this flow. Downward facing dog is where we meet. Step your feet a little bit closer together in the middle line of your mat, and then right leg goes high. Let's open up the hip here, yogis. Take a breath or two, feeling out this space. We're not going to do super long posture holds now. We're going to do that after we flow, but we're setting up the flow. The postures are giving instruction. All right. Here we go. Inhale, lift that right leg back up, straighten the leg, lift the left heel. You guys know this, slowly shift the plank, bring the right knee to the forehead. So you're in plank, rounding into kind of a little ball, almost like your cat pose. Let's step our foot inside our right thumb at the front of our mat. Seal the back heel, nice and slow, rise up to your warrior one. So you got to remember this flow now, okay? That's going to be important so you can kind of go on your own. You're welcome to change it as much as you like, but this is our kind of template. All right, so warrior one, back heel seal down, right hip back, tailbone slightly tucked, arms up. It's all basics, right? We're getting into rotational qualities and lateral qualities. We're asymmetrical. Big inhale. Let's find our warrior two, open wide. You might lengthen your stride a little bit. It's a little bit longer of a lunge. Arms are to the T, gaze is forward. Really start to turn on the legs with the squats and the lunges. All right? Slight tuck of the tailbone, shoulder blades back and down. Press the big toe, outer edge of the feet down. Flip the front palm up. Take your big reverse warrior. Get into that first side stretch. You know, you have plenty of time to go deeper. Let's not get into the habit of always forcing flexibility in yoga. All right, there's certain times for that and that approach, but be easy. Don't let that be, you know, always just your main focus. All right, big inhale, side angle, classic pose here. Right forearm, right thigh, shoulder, elbow, knee, heel stack, top arm reaches forward. Some of us can go hand on the floor of the block. If you'd like a little bit more, last breath or two here, please. Nice, looks good. What do yoga teachers say? It's like you're squeezing your body between two large sheets of glass. Keep narrowing and stacking the body. So nothing's forward or back unintentionally. Okay, big inhale, reverse warrior two, working those legs now. All the way back to where it started. And that's windmill down. Nice job. Right foot back. Chaturanga. Maybe a three-legged if you're ready. Triyanga, we call it. Right? Chatu means four. Tri means three. We're going to meet back in our downward facing dog. Again, feet might step a little closer together. Left leg rises. Open up the hip. Get that nice kind of hip flexor waistline stretch. Right, Sun Salutation A is very forward and back, up and down. There's no real rotational quality in the core, the hips, the arms, much. And now you can see the one legs are doing different things. We've entered a second tier here, okay? Big inhale, left leg high, lift your right heel, knee to forehead. Let's slowly step our left foot quietly forward, but take your time getting there now, just because I'm kind of giving a more general cue, right? Warrior one is our next position, settling in your first lunge. Nice, Teresa. Pull that left hip back. Don't let the back arch. So you want to tuck that tailbone. Warrior one. It's an intermediate yoga pose. Very difficult. Should be a lot of work at this point, right? It's intensity for the mind, the body. Okay. Big inhale. Maybe you look up and kind of touch your palms. That's the warrior one. It's a gentle look up. It's more like your peripheral vision. Sees your hands, not your direct eyes. Warrior two, please. Open wide. You can give yourself, it's first round and you're kind of holding those first big poses. So you can kind of give yourself a little breathing room by kind of straightening and bending the knee, kind of settling into your posture. Don't be too stiff and rigid and hard on yourself, yogis. It's combining self-care with work conditioning. It's like applying healthy amounts of stress to the body. That takes a lot of practice and wisdom and making mistakes, flip the front palm up. Let's take our reverse. So your left arm goes high. Come on, close your eyes and feel the body more. Become present with yourself. Okay. Side angle through warrior two, left forearm, left thigh, right arm reaches forward. So what I'm doing is setting up a kind of basic vinyasa flow. All right, and you're going to flow through this. I'll lead you through a couple times and then a little bit extra time in the flow. All right, side angle, reverse back through warrior two, but left arm all the way high. So reverse or exalted warrior two. There it is. Windmill down, hands at the front of your mat, left foot back, chaturanga. Chaturanga is really low plank, right? Forward limb, staff pose, up dog or cobra. Meet back and down dog. Take a breath here. And I'm going to add one more thing because I want to get the spine rotating on the way up here. Okay. So down dog. Let's take a big inhale, bend the knees, lift the heels, look forward, hop or step your feet to the front of your mat. We're still working this inhale half lift. That's like our cow pose today, Ardha Utthana. Okay. Exhale is the forward fold. Now find that chair pose. Step your feet together, reach the arms high, drop the hips low. Let's add here, yogis, the repetitive dynamic twisting. Hands in prayer, we're going to twist to the left. Think of this as our revolve side angle of the flow. Pretty similar, right? Except your back leg is forward. Inhale back to our chair posture. So I lean back, weight in the heels, arms up. Exhale, lean a little bit forward, twist to the left. So I'm twisting to both sides there. Okay, nice and slow. Inhale is chair posture. Woo. Exhale, stand. Maybe a little squeeze of the butt, hands at the heart. Mudra posturing. Tadasana. Let's get flowing. No more holding those poses. Here we go. Inhale, chair posture. Adding our twist. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, chair posture. Exhale, twist to the left. Still a little bit structured. Inhale, chair pose, legs are burning. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Chaturanga Dandasana, a movement to low plank. Bhujangasana or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Cobra or up dog. Down dog, Adho Mukha. Right leg lifts, inhale, Ekapada. Exhale, right foot steps quietly forward. Warrior one, Virabhadra. Exhale, warrior two. Flip the front palm up, reverse. Side angle, exhale. Reverse warrior two, inhale. All the way to low plank, exhale, right foot back. Down dog. Remember, I might be a little head of you, that's fine. Inhale, left leg rises. Work this skillful knee to forehead, exhale, step the right foot skillfully forward, moving with grace, right? Inhale is a warrior one. It's like a quick pause on the pose, right? Just so we're mindful. Warrior two on the exhale, arms go to the T, chest opens to the right. Inhale, warrior, reverse. Left arm goes high. Exhale, side angle. I think everyone knows this stuff. So you're welcome to go on your own if you're ready. Inhale, reverse warrior. That's the lateral core waking up. Exhale, windmill down. Left foot back, chaturanga. At this point, you can skip the vinyasas, just kind of step back to dog or do something different, right? Down dog. On your next inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Hop or step your feet to the front. Hands on your shins. Inhale, Ardha Utthana. Like the letter set, number 7, exhale, forward fold, find your chair pose, inhale. So a lot of twisting when you're upright here. Exhale, let's twist to the left just to switch it up. Okay, then you inhale back to your chair pose. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, chair posture. Exhale, stand, bring the hands to the heart, posture, mudra, meditation. Round 3, inhale, chair posture. Exhale, twist to the left. Just switching up the twist, it's good to notice that. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, chair pose, just slightly faster, right? Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. High plank, low plank. Exhale. Inhale, up dog cobra. The repetition is the key here, yogis, all right? Downward dog, exhale. I mean, you can always do your left leg first if you wanted to. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, step the right foot forward. Or whatever leg you're doing. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. More like a flow now. Inhale, reverse warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse warrior two. Looks good, everyone. Let's have some fun here. Yogis, can you do your second leg on the, the second side here, and then come back up through your chair? If you want to add pyramids, warrior threes, skandasanas, triangles, anything, I want you to get flowing. I'm going to give you it's already 8:23. This is taking longer than I thought. Let's give you like 5 minutes or so. Come on, let's move the body a lot in more complex ways. Even when you're doing like something like jogging or biking, it's kind of a very restricted, limited, repetitive kind of linear movement. This is like some really complex stuff happening. So I want you to close your eyes and think like meditation linking with movement and breathing, being very present, feeling. Speed doesn't determine the quality. You can move fast if you want. That's good some days. Think about when you're excited or having fun, you move fast, right? It's that passion, fire. So let's get going, guys. Turn up your music if you have it and get flowing in your creative vinyasa today. After this, we will hold postures more. We won't really be doing any chaturangas, okay? Some days it's good to do a structured vinyasa. Some days it's more dance. You're letting loose a little bit, yogis. Don't be too rigid now. Okay, you can see I'm starting to move a little bit more. Okay. Remember, the foundation is simple. Lift the left leg up. I did add that the leg lift and dog. I like that hip extension, really good to work in the glutes. Not really as classic, but the first pose is that warrior one, quite simple, to warrior two, into reverse warrior to side angle, back to reverse warrior two. So warrior two reverse, you do twice. You also do the twisting chair at the top, and after you finish both sides of your lunge, warrior side angle work. So there is a lot of twist up top. Want to really get the twist going here for some postures coming after this, all right? Still got about 3 minutes, yogis. Keep going. Breathing and moving out in a lot of heat. A lot of energy right now, all right? And if it's a little too much for you this morning, taking a stretch like a pigeon pose, a lizard pose, half or full splits, that might be better for you this morning. It just depends on where you're at. Nice. if you're new to class, I'm not like a true flow teacher. I tend to be a slower, small, I do get you moving a lot, just kind of more isolated and smaller movements. I don't teach complex sequencing that much. It is a great form of practice. And I want to notice that about myself and offer this to you some days. Sometimes a month will go by, we won't do too much flow, right? And that's important. Get that body move in a lot of ways, an artistic kind of creative form. All right. Got about another like 2 minutes or so, and then we're gonna get you moving to a different part of class. Okay. And that's something I miss in Zoom yoga. There's no music. So sometimes when I let you flow, I turn up that music, get that energy going. It's kind of more like a party at that point, right? Yoga celebration, letting loose a little bit. Sometimes yogis get a little too serious, right? A little too kind of too many rules, too strict, kind of let's make this more of like a fun celebration at the moment. Kind of it's almost like you're dancing, right? Last short minute, yogis. Okay, I would love to give you more time, but we're almost halfway done with class. Oh, nice, Teresa. Yeah, adding some flip dogs is a good one. Some side planks, some humble warriors. So, yogis, when you're done here, meet up in standing. So it kind of keeps coming back to the first position. It's called Tadasana or mountain posture, or just posturing in more of a fitness stance. So you work on standing tall and just kind of being really still, kind of a contrast energy. After a lot of movement, you kind of discipline that. Don't fidget and be nice and still, stand nice and tall. All right. And you kind of feel the energy, you feel the shifting effects. It's good to kind of slow down and notice the effects of what we're doing. All right. You come back to your meditative qualities whenever you get here, no rush. And a little bit more of holding postures. I am going to go a little bit stronger. I will mention easier options. If you want easier than Warrior 3, pyramid pose. I will show Warrior 3 first. Hands behind the lower back. Roll the shoulders back, intertwine the fingers. Left foot hovers, hinge. Either flex your back foot or point the back toe. Just in case you want easier, stepping your left foot back, kind of like Warrior 1 foot. Right hip back, hinge. Same kind of form, but with both feet down, a little bit easier. Drop the left hip down, lift the left leg up. Don't let the spine round or the back arch. Try to think of more of a neutral spine here. Another breath or 3. We're not holding too long, yogis. Maybe like just 4 or 5 breaths, about 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Now try to work your movements in and out of the posture. Tadasana, arms down, foot down, chest lifts. And then right into our second side, opposite pinky bind. So if you had your right pinky in back, hands behind you, let's intertwine the fingers. left pinky. Might feel a little awkward. Start to hinge. Finding that nice still pose now. So from a lot of movement practice into what is known as the anti-movement. Your body wants to fidget and fall, but you're not allowing that. You're taking a nice shoulder opener after the chaturangas. Yeah, take your time getting in there. You know, if you're a little behind or something, or you kind of are ideally going at your own pace and strengthening that weaker side a little bit extra. So I really would prefer if you made the timing more of your own based on what your body's telling you, not necessarily following me or the group. We're together, right? You know, yoga means together, but you don't have to be a yoga clone. Okay. We're all doing this together, using each other's energy as a group. Okay. Standing up nice and slow, please. Right from here, second round, taken further. Standing splits. Hands start on hips. Left leg lifts, right knee would bend more. Hands go on the floor. Left leg higher, okay? You could bring your right hand behind your right ankle, pulling, lifting from that left hip. You could even take your left hand behind your right ankle also. All right, so this is a big pose, and you could add a handstand hop, a little Shakti kick if you'd like. Don't force it, but if you'd like, you plant your hands, you bend that right knee, readjust your right foot, lift your right heel, lift that left leg, and a nice little hop onto those hands. It's a fun part of practice, but you know, not for everyone. Remember, when you're hopping, you want a nice strong leg, especially the top one, and straight arms. You don't want spaghetti noodle legs here, okay? You want a nice straight knee, engaged foot. Think of like a dancer or a gymnast. The leg is very active. The legs aren't kind of swinging around, all right? All right, now go slow. Stand up, right to Tadasana. We're in a little bit more of that kind of Hatha Asana mode. Kind of working our postures, but that doesn't mean we rush in and out, okay? Standing splits, hands might start on the hip, right leg hovers. Think of it second round of Warrior 3, but going deeper. Hands go toward the floor, right leg goes higher. Now that right hip's gonna wanna lift up and open. We're trying not to let that happen. It's not wrong. You can do that a little bit, no big deal, but just be aware of it. Standing splits, a very tough pose. Think about Warrior 3 being Ardha Uttanasana. You did that a lot. Think about standing splits being Uttanasana, the full forward fold, just now on one leg. Okay, last few breaths here, guys. Don't forget those handstand hops. Looks good, everyone. It's a tough pose. We're going big now. All right, so go slow. Stand up, posture Tadasana Mudra. I know some of you did triangle. We'll do one quick round here. Meeting and standing, stepping your feet open wide. Feet are about 3 to 4 feet apart. You might want your blocks by your feet. Right toes open, left toes also to the right, arms wide. Notice my hands and feet are about the same distance and width, okay? Watch the front right hip, it drops down. I lengthen laterally, I hinge. You did a lot of side angles today, yogis. All right, top arm reaches high, right shoulder relaxes from the right ear. If you want to give a quick peek to me here, see how the right shoulder can lift toward my right ear here? Watch. See how that space is created? Shoulder blades back and down. Okay, if you want a half bind, left arm around the thigh. Last 2 to 3 breaths here. I'm turning the chest up to the sky, lengthening my side bodies, particularly the right side here. I'm driving my right hip forward, engaging my legs. You know, sometimes Zoom is difficult to see the poses. It's difficult for me to see what you're doing. It's okay if you're not doing it perfect, but when in doubt, like engage muscle in the legs and the feet and the spine. That is making like everything better and safe, more safe, right? So don't judge the pose too much. Just work on engaging. Okay. Second side, rise up. You know, that's what cues are. They're all like types of engagements usually. Some are relaxing, right? But when in doubt, engage. Okay. Lengthen out to the left. Don't forget your feet pivot. So your left foot's facing the front of your mat probably, and then the right toes angle slightly forward. You drop the left hip, you reach out. Looks like everyone's in it. Try to lengthen your left side body. Remember that cue? It's like you're squeezing your body between two big sheets of glass and it's squishing you together. That makes sense. Like you're trying to do this in a very narrow space. What happens is the butt will stick behind you. You got to bring that forward more in line with the legs. And then the upper body can lean like forward. You lean that back over the front leg more. Let's keep going. Rise up, please. Got one more pose here. You kind of go through triangle. Half moon position. Right toes turn out, left toes turn to the right. I'm kind of in between a triangle / warrior two. All right, I lengthen out, I hinge, I tiptoe the back foot in, I find my block or the floor to start, I lift the left leg up. Traditional practice here, guys. All right, look at those side bodies lengthen. Okay, look at those arms, legs lengthen. Okay, you want to go big, cover the right hand or reach for your Chawapasana. Big pose time. Chawapasana is like a bow. Your top hand reaches behind you. You're not really pulling the heel to the butt. You're kicking the heel in the grip away from the hip. Don't feel pressured to take the big poses. You know, the fundamentals, the good old half moon that I first just demonstrated, fantastic pose. But if you want to get fancy, both hands go to the back foot. Double bound. All right, now can you exit slowly, landing kind of where you started in a little half subtle triangle / warrior two, and then you're going to basically switch sides. Just like we took warrior three further into standing splits, we're taking the triangle into the half moon, classic kind of vinyasa yoga. Okay, half moon, take it slow, left foot. Remember, yogis, you want that left hand about 2 feet in front of your left foot. You don't want it too close because then you create that kind of compression crunchiness. Nice. There you go. Looks good, everyone. Try to flex your right foot, you know, lift the outer right leg high. So you're really working your outer hip, the glute medius. Don't be shy to do your Chawapasana, your bind, please. Some mornings I go for the Chawapasana. Some days I'm staying with half moon and more of like a strengthening variation. It just depends on where I think my body's at and what I've been doing this week. All right, if I need strength, I'll stay strength, right? Okay, go slow, please. We have 2 more postures here, only yogis in standing form today. So we're gonna meet in this straddle position, kind of let's call it our neutral, a standing straddle. I wanna do our revolve pyramid. I revolved up triangle. I pivot now. All right, so I'm facing the front of my mat or the back of my mat. From a different angle, I look like this now, right? Right hip back, inhale, lift the chest. Everyone knows these postures. Let's slowly start to hinge. You can take it to the forward bend, but I'm gonna save time here and just go right for our revolve. Since you did warrior 3 and standing splits, we're gonna inhale, half lift, left hand on the floor of the block, and I'm gonna turn. My chest turns up to the right. Right arm goes out and up, okay? From a different angle, just in case you need that demo, right? Revolved triangle. It's a very tough pose. Right hip back in space, yogis. Okay, you did a lot of revolving in the chair. And this is that kind of first big hold. So the first triangle we call open hip. This one, if your right leg is forward, you turn to the right. Your navel is kind of turning into that right thigh. Arms spreading, legs lengthening, spine lengthening. Remember, when in doubt, engage. Press your feet down, engage your thighs, lengthen your core, squeeze your pelvic floor lightly. All right, when in doubt, engage, okay? Right hand down, slowly rise up. I won't make you hold that one too long. It's a brutal pose. We'll pivot to the side and to the second leg in front, so left leg in front. Remember, feet are about hips width distance for a beginner. We do heel alignment. I'm showing you, it's hard to see on Zoom, but these are my feet on the floor. You know, the feet are kind of like that to start, right? Pretty far apart. Some people get their feet too close together, forward and back. Get a nice long stride, about 3 feet maybe. Then you hinge, hands on the hips. Try to keep your left hip back. You can bend your left knee if you need. Let's do this, yogis. This is a tough pose. You know, I still, honestly, I can do this one a lot better than I used to be able to, but I still can't do it like the yogis ask you to do it. You know, your pelvic, your sacrum, flat to the floor, you know, hips aligned from the side bodies equally lengthened, heels and feet fully pressed down. Man, it's a puzzle for the mind and body, this one. A lot of little pieces. Nice. You guys are looking good though. All right. Now we got our last standing posture. I'm not going to make you do the standing toe binds. I think we're going to hit those next week. I want you to slowly make your way up. And I got one more posture. It is the revolve moon. So our final standing twist here. And it's basically the same form, taking that posture a little further. Pivot to the right. Think warrior 3, bringing the chest down. So it's our fourth balance, right? Our final balance posture, maybe the most complex of class here so far. Left leg lifts. Now your right hand can stay on your right hip. It's hard to see here. It's my back hip. My left hand comes down underneath the left shoulder. I work on getting length through the body, okay? I inhale, lengthen. Right arm might go out and up as I turn my navel to the right. So it is 2 twists in a row here, okay? Big pose time. If you want to try it, revolve Chalpasana. This would be maybe peak complexity, balance, strength, and stretch all combined in one pose here. Right hand and left foot behind you like a bow, kicking and slightly turning to the right. All right. Now you would release to revolve warrior, half moon, maybe through warrior 3, landing that left foot at the part of the mat where it started, and then just kind of rising up, pivoting to your final side. All right. And then taking your time, kind of entering slowly, hands on the hips. Warrior 3 is kind of a nice starter position. And then slowly reaching your right hand under your right shoulder on the block or the floor. So whereas the first half moon, you're actually stacking your hips as much as possible. This is kind of like the opposite. So if my left leg is down and my left arm is turning up to the sky, I want to actually lift my right hip up against it. So it's you know, the hip actually tends to dip down here, right? So in a lot of those poses, you're lifting your hip up. The twist is causing your right hip to drop down and the leg maybe. So we're lifting your right leg up, your right hip up against the twist to the left. Okay? If that makes sense. I don't want to be too technical and distract you the whole time. Very challenging posture, yogis. Remember, revolve moon is like a peak in beginner yoga, but it can be extremely challenging for all levels when done with a lot of intensity and intention, okay? Yeah, and revolve Chalpasana is the big one. That's it, guys. I know, it's a struggle. All right, now I want to go slow here. You're going to meet kind of standing in your straddle and step to the front of your mat. And just to kind of break that up there, those are straight leg hinges. Let's do a nice bent knee squat. Good old yogi squat here, guys. Lift the chest, bend the knees, get low. So I'm at the front of my mat. My feet are about hips width distance, slightly wider, turned open this way. Your feet can turn open, that's fine. Eventually they'll be a little bit more parallel. Don't force it, all right? You can stay here for another breath or 3, or if you'd like to try the nice crow pose, our classic arm balance here, hands plant, elbows in, knees on triceps, shift forward, spread the back, one foot lifts of the other. Big toes touch, heels pull up, lengthen through the chest, spread the back. And now, on those hands only, you just got a lot of work in your legs and your core. Nice, so try to look forward. Don't look down, yogis. You know, body tends to follow the eyes, so look forward. It's like hot yoga out here, or if you're in California these days, it's like hot yoga. I had to turn the AC back on these last couple of days. Oh, nice, Kev, a little one-legged crow. Don't be shy if you want to go big now, all right? I do want to do one last arm weight bearer, right? We didn't do, what was our arm bearing? You know, downward dogs, chaturangas, that's a heavy dose. I do that a lot, you know. Some days my upper body exercise is just push-ups. But how about I give you one more quick go here, guys? Let's step back to down dog. Did a pretty good amount there, did a pretty good amount in plank, so I'll skip that. I'm gonna do our side plank. I'm just sticking to a fundamental practice. Regulars, you know all this stuff. So let's shift forward. You can come down to your forearms if your wrist had enough from the crow. Let's do a quick side plank. It's called Vashista. Dropping your heels over to a side and then lifting that kind of opposite arm up. Come on, yogis. One big straight arm scapular, it's called, where the scapular and the shoulder have to work together. Remember, straight arm planks are a little bit more, like I said, shoulder and scapular work. We call it straight arm scapular strength. And you start to bend the arms, a little bit more arm. You're going to get arm too, but you can feel it's a little bit more shoulder and kind of armpit scapula, it's called. That big heart-shaped bone in the upper back. Okay? And then after you fatigue there, I'm only going to give you one round, yogis. Okay, that's all we got time for today. Second side. Get one nice strong fatigue of the arm. Nice, Brian. Yeah, lift that top leg for that double glute. Like a second round of half moon there. Remember, I'd like you to try to have save energy for your weaker arm. My left arm is some days not as strong as the right arm in this particular pose. So I try to save energy and give extra determination and focus on the left. Come on now, let that less developed body side catch up to the stronger side. All right. Just like I'd ask you to stretch the tighter side more. All right, let's keep going here, yogis. Plank down to the knees, swing it around, seated position. One quick ab tightener. We did a lot of abs, but nothing isolate. You know, I like to try to give you one each class. I'm just gonna keep it simple. I think we did this on Thursday as well. We got core on Tuesdays. That's our heavy core day. Here's both that hollow body. My lower back is down, guys. See that? There's no back arch. See, I can't get my hand under there. I'm pressing that lower back in. If I want a little extra, I can do a little pulse, arms back. I can even lift the legs a little bit. You got about 1 minute here. Just to really get your abs firing. Remember that planks, they're not going to get your abs too well. They will get your obliques and connecting your hips, legs through particular core muscles. It's a fine line, yogis, this learning to hold the belly and train your transverse abdominis and pelvic floor, but also relaxing it. You know, I often train you guys to pull your transverse abdominis in, pull your belly in a lot. But that can also eventually, it's just like everything, eventually what was good for you might be not, it becomes too much of a pattern or a condition. Pulling the belly in eventually, there's a lot of intention not to do that in certain times, allowing the abdominal breathing and the pelvic floor to relax. But on the average person, I try to train you guys to train your deep transverse abdominis, pulling the abdomen in, to support the core during these strenuous exercises. Okay, so final strenuous exercise. Let's bring our knees into our chest and do our bridge or wheel. I can give you about 2-3 minutes max here today. Place your feet right beyond your sit bones. Knees are bent to the sky. You're laying on your back now. Arms down by side, and let's press through our big toe heels and lift our hips up in the sky here. If you want to grab the outer edges of your mat or walk your hands underneath your body, kind of stick into something just traditional, kind of holding your bridge or wheel. We did a lot of movement in the beginning. I'm just holding postures now. If you got it, flip those hands over the shoulders, widen your feet. Let's lift everything up for our Urdhva Dhanurasana, the upward bow. Remember in bridge. Let's start bridge. Big toes press down, heels pull to shoulders. You'll feel your hamstrings, the back of your thighs work better. Don't let your knees buckle in or out. Don't let your feet do anything odd. All parts of the feet down, body awareness and intention. And then you want to try to tuck your tailbone more between your thighs. That's called posterior tilt, and lengthen through your core. You notice that takes a lot of pressure out of the back. Okay, don't forget you can do a one-legged bridge. I'm only giving you time for 2 rounds here today, please. So you got about another minute and a half here. You're going to lower down and take one more good solid back bend, please. Really, guys, bridge can be done every single day. It's not too strenuous. Your legs are designed for weight bearing basic every day, right? You get up and walk around all day. You used to work on the farm all day. And, that's what the humans are designed for, is physical activity. And we're capable, and it's good to condition the body in healthy ways regularly and consistently. You can do this one every day, and you really don't need to be warmed up at all. You can do this in bed when you first wake up. I wouldn't really recommend it at night. You don't want to exercise right before bed, but anytime, doing those bridges daily, what a good habit. Maybe 2022, you start to add more of this posterior chain strengthening. It can really change your posture, your walking, your back health. It's really just such a fantastic, simple exercise. Nice. Yeah. That wheel pose. Don't let those elbows bow out. As soon as the elbows bow out and wheel, people tend to get more pinching in the shoulders, the AC joint, and the trap tension. You go through here, as soon as you can feel it, you can do it, like you can just stand up and do this and then feel right there. It's so tense. And then you get weight on there. Right? People tend to get a lot of irritation from wheel when they let the elbows go out. Okay. So yogis, I got to get you moving to the final stage of class here. Just a stretch or two. Figure 4, right ankle atop left knee. We're just going to stay with our classic practice. If you want to do Gomukhasana or pigeon, nice. I'll keep it simple. Right ankle atop left knee. Reach through, grab that left thigh behind the leg, all right? If there's other stretches you'd like to unwind with, good intuition. Okay, and then you'll switch sides when you're ready, please. You do have to kind of curl up to get this sometimes, right? You lift your head, your shoulders, even your sacrum. We are trying to get that grip of the right hamstring here, but then try to lower the sacrum, head back down. We have shifted gears. We are starting to relax. Nice long spine. head relaxed on the floor. Okay, and that's pretty much more for the hip, the glute, and the upper leg. And now maybe a core release. What did we do? The twisting chairs, the triangle, the revolved triangle, and the revolved moon, but maybe a stretchy twist here, bringing both knees into the chest, just dropping them over to the left, reaching your right arm out. You're also going to get a nice kind of chest opener here. Let the head fall to the right, also opening the neck. And then you'll come back to center and take your second side. Remember, we want to try to keep the spine long. So if my knees drop to the right, I might scooch my hips a little to the left. I might have to notice how the shoulders are. You see that a lot in yoga. In all poses, people tend to like lift their shoulders up. You don't notice it in postures like this as much, maybe. Just notice it, yogis, try to practice the conditions you desire in the body. Because whether you know it, like every second you're designing your fascia, your posture. So you can finish up your twist, maybe a little happy baby or plow. Happy baby is where you grab the ankles, you grab the feet. Plow is where you swing the legs up over the body. Apanasana would be the easiest, just kind of bringing our knees into our chest. We didn't do any child pose as a group, so bringing the knees in here, just simple, is a nice ending as well. Nice. Yeah, happy baby, you're kind of pulling on those feet. You're also kicking into the hands slightly. Again, bringing that sacrum and head down a little bit more, kind of pulling the knees to the armpit area. And then you can straighten the legs wide a little bit too. We didn't do a straddle, we did a triangle. But happy baby is an exploratory, artistic kind of feel good pose. All right. So, yogis, when you're ready, I would like to lead you into your meditative state, and then you're going to hold there for about 15 minutes if you have time. Okay. I apologize on Saturdays and Sundays. I do have 2 more classes to get to. Both days I have 3 in a row, right? And you guys are first. So I always do kind of have to get out of here rather quick. But I do want you to get set up in a nice, comfortable position when you're ready. You can sit and meditate some days as long as you can, kind of center, ground, calm the mind and body. It is good to take a few breaths and kind of like shake it out a little bit. But in the end, I do want you to have the attention of stilling the body, relaxing it. Also, relaxing your lungs. Sometimes you're in a yoga room, you hear people deep breathing in Shavasana. That's not really a Shavasana approach, a passive meditation. Breathing is very active, it's very physical. We want to try to let your lungs relax, your breath relax. Eventually, it's almost like you're not breathing. So the breath goes to its most natural, calm state. You relax your abdomen, your eyes, your face, and your jaw. And it's a practice of just letting go and melting into the floor. We're calming the body, calming the breath, so the mind can relax more too, right? By encouraging the body and the breath to relax, we might encourage the mind to relax. So I am going to leave you here, yogis. I appreciate you guys showing up. Really nice job today with your traditional practice. Don't forget tomorrow at 7:45 a.m., simple, slower, stretchier Sundays. All right, so nice fundamentals and just taking some time for some subtle things and more of a stretchy therapeutic class. All right. Nice job, yogis. Thanks, everyone. Namaste. Have a good weekend if I don't see you.